Hey everybody, how are we doing today? Welcome to my kitchen. I know it's crazy hot outside. I mean, who is surviving this heat? How many are staying inside? I have been, I know that. I don't like to be overly hot or anything. So I'm kind of beating the heat in the kitchen a little bit, and I am using my deep covered baker. Now you're gonna see this one's a little different color. I've had this one a little longer than what's in the catalog, but they are the same. This is also called the Wonder Pot. And I am making grilled chicken penne al fresco. And so this is a great summertime recipe. Doesn't heat up the kitchen much and stuff. To start out, I'm gonna use my kitchen spritzer. I'm gonna pump it up. And I'm gonna actually turn you so you can see the pan rather than me, and you can see what I'm doing. All right, so that's all pumped up. And I'm just gonna spray, this is olive oil. Just gonna spray the bottom of it. Now you can use any kind of oil you want in the spritzer. You know, we also have my daughter's here that has a, I think she has vegetable oil in hers. You can see the difference in the color of them. And that, all right, so my pan is sprayed. You always wanna burp the baby. And the reason for that is so that way that allows the oil to drain out of the tube. It doesn't trap it in there and get it stuck. And so then we are going to put our tomatoes in. So the recipe says 2 cups or 500 milliliters. So just so you know, 1 pint is 551 milliliters. You can't have too many, so I'm just putting them all in. And that allows, if there's some that aren't so great, you can always pick them out. And so we've got that in there. Then we are going to add our rub in, which is the garlic and herb. Calls for a tablespoon. So basically about a capful, and this is just a helpful hint, usually around a capful is about a tablespoon. So I'm just going to sprinkle that over. You can also use sliced garlic, and that which would be 4 cloves sliced. So what's going to happen as we put this in the microwave, the tomatoes are going to start to blister. So we're going to put this in. Forgot to take my plate cover out. For about 4 minutes. And I'm going to center it because this has a rotary on it. All right, so let's set this for 4. Let's do 4.5 because it says 4 to 5. So let's go in the middle. And we're doing it on high. So we've got that going. While it's doing that, I am going to take, and I'm checking my stove to make sure my grates aren't hot so I don't melt one of my favorite cutting boards. But I'm going to take the chicken breast that I've already grilled up and I'm going to dice it. Because this will just get added in after. But it's a good way to use your time, or you could use this time or the next for, you know, grilling your chicken. And I just dice it into bite-sized pieces. Now you could also use the salad choppers to cut up your chicken. And that, yep, just heard a tomato pop. Did you hear that? So one of the things with the deep covered baker, if you've ever been interested in it and you want it, like I said, it was called the Wonder Pot. It is on our Summer Sensation sale right now. So ask me about that and I can get you the information for it. And I do have a party that you can get some savings in it going, a shared rewards party. So just ask me about that as well. And that's so you could save up to 25% in a shared rewards party. It's a party style that the more everybody shops, the more everybody saves. Not just the host gets pampered, everybody gets pampered by saving on their purchases. and I'm using the Santoku knife. This is like, this and the utility knife are my favorite two knives. They are my go-tos. There we go. So the chicken is cut. Move my grill pan. Sorry about walking away from the camera. I also wanted to rinse my fingers. And so this has a couple more minutes. So let's talk about the deep covered baker. You can pretty much cook almost anything in it. And I've made cakes in it, I've made pastas, I've made roasts. You know, it will handle anything that a roaster will handle. It can only be used in the microwave or in the oven. It cannot, not like the rock crock. It can't go on the stovetop. It can't go on the grill. And so it's only has the two locations of cooking. But if those are your preferred methods of cooking, it's perfect for you. And the stoneware holds your temperature, so it's going to keep your food, you know, warm as, you know, you're serving it and stuff. And it's such a pretty color. It can go from oven to table without a problem. So I've got that, grilled that in the grill pan, which is fantastic. You know, our grill pans do have lifetime warranty. You get the nice sear on them, and that you get the grill marks. I mean, you can see on that piece the grill marks there and stuff. And then I did let it rest before I cut it, so that way it's sealed in the juices. You never want to cut your protein right away after it's done cooking. You want to let it rest a little bit. So the other things that we're going to be using in this recipe is chicken broth, which I'm actually using some homemade chicken stock that we had made. You can easily make your own, and that rather than buying it, by just boiling your the chicken carcass after you have a rotisserie chicken, and that rather than throwing the carcass away, you know, you can leave some of the meats and the fats on it and boil it and stuff to get that stock. And then you're not, you know, you're getting even more use from that chicken, just not just the meat that you had from it. You know, a thing of chicken broth can be anywhere, depending on what you get. If you get store brand or name brand, it can be anywhere from $2.50 to $5. And why pay that much when you can actually use something that you're, no kidding, going to be throwing away? So, all right, so that is done. I am going to pull that out because I can't do anything with it up in there. There we go. I'm going to use my mini oven mitts. I love these guys. I call them the shark bite mitts because if you have kids, tell me, doesn't that look like, you know, shark? Walk around the house singing Baby Shark. And they are made of silicone, so you can see they do bend to the thing. There we go. So you can see you see the blisters? And the juices from that melded with the seasoning. So now we are going to add our pasta, which is 3 cups of pasta. And it called for mezze penne. Store didn't have any. Oh my God, the pasta section was like obliterated. I was shocked. So I actually just bought ziti. We'll try it, see how it works. You know, it's pretty much kind of the same type of noodle, just a little bit different. And then we are going to add the broth, which is 3 cups of broth. And what I found, if you're cooking your pasta in the microwave, it's a cup of broth for a cup of pasta. And again, this is homemade chicken stock. And I pre-measured everything into my batter bowls, so that just makes it easier. Now, I am going to cook with wine. If you don't do the wine, then you would want to do an extra cup of the chicken broth. Let me get my wine opener. So if you guys like wine, you will love this opener. You don't have to fight with the angel wings or anything. And that this doesn't have the tape on top, but you have your cutter on the bottom. but this is also your stand. So when it's sitting there, it's sitting on the stand. So I'm using a Chardonnay. Bring this over. So I'm just setting this on top. You can see the buttons here. I'm just pressing the down button and it lights up. You do need to hold the bottle. Okay, and as it's going, you can see it's pulling the cork up. Okay, didn't quite pull it all the way because this one has a little bit of a wax thing on it. It's the toasted head. To get the cork out, you just press the top and it brings the cork down. And there's the wax seal that was on top. So how easy is that for opening your wine? And that there's no fighting with it, there's no spilling it. Let me make sure it is just, okay, so it's a half a cup of wine. So if you're not a wine drinker or anything, when you cook with an alcohol, when you're cooking it, it's reaching a high temperature and you're cooking the actual alcohol out. What is staying behind is the flavors. So like with this one, it's gonna have that buttery, oaky flavor left behind in your pasta, you know, to help help flavor your dish. There we go. Put my cork back in, set that to the side. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of mix this around some. Okay, and then I need the salt and pepper. And salt and pepper is, you know, to your preference and stuff. We do recommend using some. You don't have to use a lot of salt if you don't want to. All right, now we do have a grinder set. I don't have it here in this kitchen. It's in my other kitchen. But fresh ground pepper has a totally different flavor than your already pre-ground, fine ground. And you just get a much, much better flavor. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of salt, not a lot. Just enough. And I use Mediterranean sea salt. And that's actually kind of better for you. All right. So again, go ahead and mix that around. And this pot does act as a Dutch oven. So if you have, you can see I'm able to touch the lid, but not for long because it is warm. But it's been sitting out for a while. Okay. So this is going to go in for 12 minutes. Up and in. We're going to set it for 12. And then after that, we will stir in our chicken, our shredded cheese, which I use fresh Parmesan and I shred it. I don't have my fine microplane here, so what I did was I used my zester, and the zester will get you that nice fine grated Parmesan and stuff. And when you're doing it fresh, you're eliminating the I always forget the name of the stuff, the filler that is the anti-caking agent, which is actually just basically wood chips. It's kind of wood shavings and stuff that you're putting into your body when you eat pre-grated cheese. And that's pretty much any cheese. So that's why we like to say fresh is best. If you need it grating your own, you get a better flavor. It's a richer flavor from your cheese and everything. And then we have the parsley. So it calls for a cup and a half, I think it is. Oh, cup and a quarter of lightly packed fresh parsley leaves. And so I just took the shears, the kitchen shears, and just went through and just chopped it up. Now you can also use the herb mill for this, but you can just in the prep bowl go through and dice it up. So we'll stir those in. And this smells amazing So you can either buy your parsley, or, you know, it's not that hard to keep a parsley plant alive. And now if you have it outdoors, you can winter it over indoors. I personally don't like to plant them in the ground because then you can't winter them over inside. So what we do is we'll have ours, and during the summertime we'll put it outside unless it's like extremely hot and stuff, then we'll bring it in. But in the wintertime we definitely bring it in, and then we have fresh basil all year round. And you know, we bought one plant for what, maybe $3 if you get one of the starter ones at the beginning of the season and stuff, versus paying $5 for a pack of basil. So yeah, so let me double check this. All right, so we're gonna cook that about 12 minutes until the pasta is tender, and we're gonna stir it after 5 minutes. And then, you know, we've already done the basil. We've already done the cheese. So then we'll remove that, and we'll remove the lid. And you do want to make sure that you lift it, you know, kind of away from you and stuff. That way you don't get the steam. Kind of like opening the dishwasher. Who's opened the dishwasher and then just, you know, especially if you wear glasses, you'll totally understand this. You know, you open the dishwasher and then you can't see for 5 minutes because of all the steam that just hit you in the face, or the oven. So then we will add in the basil, the cheese, and the chicken to the baker. Then we're going to mix that well, and then, you know, we can garnish it with some additional basil and cheese if we like, and then serve it with a glass of wine. You know, so yeah, one of the rules for cooking with wine is if you wouldn't drink it, you don't want to cook with it, because the flavor of the wine does go into your food. So you do want to make sure that you have a nice flavored wine and for what you're making, so that way you don't have an off taste for your meal. So I'm not gonna have you guys on here, you know, the entire time. I will post a picture of the finished product, and if you have any questions, please let me know. And like I said, for a limited time, the deep cover baker is on our summer sensations. It is going to transition out of the catalog at the end of August. So if you are interested in that, please let me know so I can help you get it on sale, and even maybe some additional discounts on it. And I do have an e-recipe book that I can send. You know, if you already have it and you need some recipe ideas and stuff, you know, put in the comments and I can send you an e-recipe book. Okay? So thank you for joining me. I hope you guys are having a great day and you're staying cool. And hopefully this gives you an idea of how you can beat the heat in the kitchen. You know, nothing worse than it being hot outside and then it being hot in the house. So don't heat up your kitchen with the stove or the oven, and use alternate cooking methods if you can. All right, we will see you guys later. Have a great day.